From the outside, the King mansion looked perfect. Tall white pillars. Glass shining like ice. Luxury cars lined up like trophies. But inside, doors kept closing on people. "You're fired. You can leave today." Robert King, billionaire restaurant owner, spoke in a calm voice. But everyone was scared of that voice. At the top of the stairs, a young nanny held a small suitcase. Her eyes were red. Her hands were shaking. "Sir, please," she whispered. "I'm really trying with Emma. She just needs more stability." "No more excuses," Robert cut her off. "Michael will process your pay. Leave your key." At the bottom of the stairs, half hidden behind the sofa, sat a little girl. 3 years old. Soft brown hair. Bare feet on cold marble. Her name was Emma. She rocked back and forth, clutching a stuffed bunny. She didn't look up. Didn't say goodbye. Didn't wave. She had autism. Loud sounds hurt her. Sudden touch scared her. New people made her panic. The nanny stared at her, tears falling. "Bye, Emma," she whispered. "I really tried, baby." She walked out the big door. The echo of her suitcase wheels faded away. In the corner, a young maid stood very still, holding a tray. Her name was Sophia. She watched the nanny leave. She watched Robert's cold face. She watched little Emma shake and press her hands over her ears. As she bent to pick up a fallen toy, she felt something strange. Someone was watching her. Sophia slowly lifted her eyes. Emma was staring at her. Not at the floor. Not at the door. At her. For just one heartbeat, their eyes met. Then Emma looked down again, rocking faster. That night, when the house was quiet and the city lights glowed far away, a small figure appeared at the kitchen door. Emma. Barefoot. Hugging her bunny. Silent. She watched Sophia wash dishes under the warm yellow light. None of them knew it yet. Not Robert. Not Michael, the strict manager. Not Sophia. But that shy child would take her very first steps soon. Not to her rich father. Not to any expensive nanny. To the poor, Maid no one respected. And when it happened, in the middle of his own restaurant, with everyone watching, it would shatter a billionaire's pride and change what rich and poor really meant. Everyone, listen up. Michael, the house manager, clapped his hands in the staff hall. His tie was straight, his face serious. "Mr. King is under a lot of pressure," he said. "No mistakes. No noise near the nursery. And do not try to act like family. You are staff. Understand?" "Yes, sir," the staff replied. In the bright kitchen, breakfast was being prepared. Smell of toast. Coffee. Eggs. Pans clinking. Water running. Emma sat at the table in her special chair. Her legs curled up under her. She rocked lightly, eyes fixed on the spoon in her hand. The nanny placed a bowl of cereal in front of her. A few raisins floated on top. "There you go, sweetheart," the nanny said softly. "Just like yesterday." For a moment, Emma's fingers stilled. She picked up one raisin and pressed it between her fingers, feeling the texture. It made her calm. Robert walked in, suit perfect, phone in hand. He glanced at the bowl, and froze. "What is that?" he demanded. The nanny swallowed. "Just a few raisins, sir. She likes them and it helps." "I said no raisins," he snapped. "It's not on the nutritionist's plan." "Sir, I don't pay you to do what you feel," Robert said coldly. "I pay you to follow instructions." The nanny reached to take the bowl away. The spoon scraped the side of the bowl. The metal sound hit Emma's ears like a knife. Her shoulders jerked. Her breathing sped up. Then she screamed. Her small body went stiff. She kicked the table. The bowl flew and crashed on the floor. Milk splashed across the tiles. "For God's sake," Robert muttered, rubbing his forehead. The nanny tried to hug Emma. It's okay, it's okay. Emma screamed louder, pushing her away, hitting, kicking. She hated sudden touch when she was overwhelmed. Sophia rushed forward with a towel. She stayed low, giving Emma space, cleaning the mess. It's okay, little one, she whispered softly, not too close. No more loud spoons. No more. But Robert had already made his decision. This is the third meltdown this week, he said in a flat voice. You're not the right person. Pack your bags. The nanny stared at him, stunned. Sir, she's not misbehaving. She's overwhelmed. She needs someone better, he cut in. You can go. The nanny's eyes filled with tears. She looked at Emma one last time. I really wish I could have helped you, she whispered. She left. Silence dropped like a stone. Sophia wiped milk from the floor, trying not to cry for a woman she barely knew. A lonely raisin rolled near her hand. Gentle fingers reached down at the same time. Emma's. Sophia froze, then slowly looked up. Emma was watching her again. Not screaming. Not hitting. Just watching. You like raisins, Sophia said softly, with the smallest smile. Emma didn't smile back. But she didn't pull away. She gently picked up the raisin and held it. In the doorway, Robert noticed this tiny scene. His eyes narrowed. Why was his daughter calmer with a maid than with a trained nanny? What do you think a man like him will do when he feels his control slipping? At night, the mansion was a different world. The chandeliers were dim. The halls were empty. Only the city lights blinked outside like distant stars. Down in the kitchen, it was warm and quiet. Sophia stood at the sink, sleeves rolled up, washing dishes. The soft hum of the dishwasher filled the room. She hummed a gentle tune under her breath. Hum. She thought she was alone. Then she felt it again, that quiet feeling, like someone was standing just out of sight. She turned her head slightly. There, at the doorway, stood Emma, barefoot. Pajamas slightly too big. Bunny pressed to her chest. She didn't speak. She didn't walk in. She just watched. Sophia pretended not to react too fast. Hey, little star, she said softly. Couldn't sleep. No answer. Sophia went back to washing, but kept humming. She made her movements slow and gentle. No loud sounds. No sudden clanks. The next night, it happened again. Same doorway. Same little girl. Same silent eyes. This time, Sophia quietly placed a small plate on the counter near the doorway. A few raisins. A small piece of soft bread. Without turning around, she said, If you want, this is for you. You don't have to come in. It's okay. The room was filled with the sound of water and hum of the machine. Then she heard it. Soft footsteps. Little fingers on the counter. The plate moved. A tiny chew. Sophia smiled to herself. Good job, she whispered. You're very brave. Night after night, the distance changed. First, Emma stayed by the door. Then inside the frame. Then near the table. Then close enough that Sophia could see the small scar on her chin. One evening, Sophia took a clean metal bowl and a wooden spoon. She remembered how the loud scrape had hurt Emma in the morning. So this time, she tapped very lightly. Talk, talk, talk. Emma flinched, then looked closer. Her eyes followed the rhythm. It's like raindrops, Sophia whispered. Soft ones. Listen, talk, talk, talk. Emma stepped closer. Her bunny dragged on the floor. Would you like to try? Sophia asked. Emma touched the spoon. For a second, she hesitated. Then she tapped once. Talk. A tiny, almost invisible smile touched the corner of her mouth. For Sophia, it felt like sunshine. But the moment didn't last. What is going on here? Robert's voice cut through the room like a knife. He stood at the doorway, suit still on, eyes cold. He saw his daughter with the maid. The spoon. The bowl. The closeness. So now the maid is my daughter's therapist, he said slowly. The warm kitchen suddenly felt ice cold. Sir, she just came here on her own, Sophia said softly. This place is quieter for her. It helps. I didn't ask for your opinion, he snapped. I told you to stay in your place. If I see you playing games with her again, you're done. Understood. Emma's body went stiff at his sharp tone. She dropped the spoon. Her bunny fell. Sophia lowered her gaze. Yes, sir. Robert took Emma's hand and pulled her away. You belong in your room, not with staff in the kitchen. The door closed behind them. Sophia picked up the bunny from the floor and held it for a second. I'm sorry, she whispered to the empty room. I didn't want to cause trouble for you. She put the bunny on the counter and turned back to her dishes. She thought it was over. But that night, the sky had other plans. The storm started just after midnight. Rain slammed against the glass. Wind howled around the mansion. Thunder rumbled somewhere far, then closer. At 2 a.m., Sophia woke up with a jolt. A scream echoed through the hallway. Not thunder. Not the wind. Emma. Sophia threw off her blanket and opened her door. Down the hallway, outside Emma's room, she saw chaos. Emma's screams were sharp and endless. She hit her head against the pillow, kicked the bed, sobbing until her small body shook. Robert stood there with a tablet in his hand, on a video call with a therapist. His hair was messy, shirt open at the collar. He looked nothing like the perfect billionaire from the morning. I did the deep pressure thing you said, he shouted into the screen. I used the weighted blanket. She keeps hitting herself. Just tell me what to do. On the screen, the doctor spoke calmly. Mr. King, please breathe. She feels your stress. She needs your calm, your gentleness. I am calm, Robert yelled. He wasn't. Emma's screams grew louder. Some staff peeked from their doors, then disappeared again. No one wanted to get pulled into his anger. Sophia took a breath and stepped closer. Sir, she said gently. May I try something? Robert spun toward her. I told you. Emma let out another broken scream. Her feet thrashed. Her hands clawed at her own hair. Sophia's eyes filled with tears. Please, she said softly. If it doesn't help, you can fire me tomorrow. But please, let me try tonight. Robert stared at her. At Emma. At the tablet. Every thunderclap felt like a punch. Finally, he stepped aside. You have 1 minute, he said, voice low. Sophia walked into Emma's room. She didn't turn on bright lights. She didn't rush to touch her. She sat on the floor, a short distance away, where Emma could see her but not feel trapped. She began to hum. The same gentle kitchen tune. Hum hum hum. Then she tapped the floor with her fingertips. Talk, talk, talk. Hey, little star, she whispered. It's just rain, and us, and the floor. Listen to the sound. Talk, talk, talk. Emma screamed again, but the sound began to break. Her rocking slowed a little. She peeked from behind her hands. Sophia kept her voice steady. Can you breathe with me? In, out, in, out. You're safe. No one will touch you without asking. Just listen. She tapped again. Talk, talk, talk. Emma moved. She slowly slid off the bed and crawled toward the sound. Her breathing was still hard, but the screams turned into sobs. She reached Sophia, and leaned her warm, shaking head against her leg. Sophia placed her hand gently on Emma's back. Not pushing. Not gripping. Just resting it there. There you go, she whispered. You're doing so well. I'm proud of you. The storm outside raged on, but inside the room, it was finally calm. At the door, Robert watched in silence. The therapist's voice came from the tablet, forgotten in his hand. Mr. King? What's happening now? Robert stared at his daughter, finally peaceful in the arms of a woman he had treated like nothing. His throat tightened. He ended the call without answering. For the first time, he saw the truth clearly. His money hadn't calmed his child. His power hadn't protected her. A maid had done what a billionaire father could not. What does a man do when his pride meets a truth like that? 1 week later, Robert's flagship restaurant glowed in the heart of the city. Crystal lights, white tablecloths, gentle music. The smell of grilled steak, butter, and fresh bread filled the air. Tonight was important. Investors, critics, influencers, everyone who could lift him higher, or pull him down, was here. In a risky, hopeful move, Robert had decided to bring Emma. "We'll keep her in the private room," he told Michael. "If anything goes wrong, we leave immediately." "Yes, sir," Michael replied. Sophia came along as staff, dressed in a simple black dress and apron. She was secretly more focused on Emma than on plates. In the private room, the lights were softer. The noise outside reached them as a quiet murmur. Emma sat on a small sofa, bunny in one hand, eyes looking around but not panicking. Sophia sat on the floor near the table. She pulled a little wooden horse from her bag. "Look who came with us," she smiled. "He walks like this, clip, clop, clip, clop." She moved the horse slowly in front of Emma. Emma's eyes followed every step. Her fingers reached out and touched the tiny legs. "You're doing great," Sophia whispered. "Big night, huh? Your daddy is out there showing his restaurant to the world. But you're my hero tonight." Outside, Robert stood with a glass in his hand and spoke into the mic. "Tonight is about taste, teamwork, and family," he said. The word family caught in his throat. He looked at the empty high chair at his table, reserved for Emma. Back in the private room, time seemed gentle. Then suddenly, it broke. In the main hall, a waiter slipped. A tray full of plates crashed to the floor. Glass shattered. Metal rang out. The sound shot down the hallway like lightning. Emma froze. Her shoulders tensed. Her eyes went wide. The noise of voices rose outside. The band tried to play louder to cover it. People talked, laughed nervously. For Emma, it was too much. She slid off the sofa, hands flying to her ears. A scream ripped from her lungs. "No, no, no," Sophia whispered. "It's okay, it's okay." But Emma kicked and cried harder, curling into herself on the carpet. Sophia knelt beside her. "Emma, listen to me. Just me. Hear my hands, not the plates." She tapped the floor. "Talk, talk, talk. 1, 2, 3. In the hallway, the private room door was half open. People nearby turned to look. "What's going on in there?" someone whispered. Robert followed their eyes. He pushed through the small crowd and reached the door. He saw his daughter on the floor, shaking and sobbing. He saw Sophia beside her, calm, focused. Again. "Sophia," he started. "Please," she said softly, not stopping her tapping. "Give her a moment." She looked at Emma. "Do you want to come to me, little star? Only if you want. You're in control." The restaurant had gone quiet. The band stopped. People watched from a distance, holding their breath. Emma's breathing was still rough, but she peeked through her fingers. Her eyes locked on Sophia, then on the space between them, then on her own unsteady feet. She rolled onto her knees, grabbed the edge of the couch, pushed herself up. The room felt like it stopped moving. Robert's heart pounded in his chest. Emma let go of the couch. Her right foot moved forward, then her left. 1 step, 2 steps. Her arms reached out, not to her father, to Sophia. Clip, clop. She stumbled and fell into Sophia's arms. Sophia caught her, laughing and crying at the same time. "You did it," she whispered, voice shaking. "You walked. You walked, little star. For a moment, everything was silent. Then someone near the door started clapping softly. Then, another. Soon the whole restaurant was filled with gentle applause. They weren't clapping for Robert's food. They were clapping for a little girl's courage, and the maid who believed in her. Robert's eyes burned with tears. His daughter's first steps. And they weren't for him. What would you feel in that moment? The drive back to the mansion was quiet. Emma slept in the back seat, head resting to the side, Bunny tucked under her chin. Michael drove. Streetlights slid over the car like soft waves. In the back, Sophia sat nervously, hands clenched together. Her mind replayed the scene over and over. Emma walking. The applause. Robert's face. Whatever you did, Michael said quietly, eyes on the road, you gave that child something money couldn't. Sophia shook her head. She did it, she said. I just gave her a chance. Robert said nothing the whole ride home. At the mansion, Michael carried a sleeping Emma to her room. Robert turned to Sophia. His voice was low. Come to my office. Her heart dropped. She followed him down the hallway, remembering every nanny who had walked this path and never come back. In the big office, city lights shone through the glass wall. The room felt heavy. Sit, Robert said. She sat on the edge of the leather chair, bracing herself. For a long moment, he said nothing. Then, 7 nannies, he began. Sophia swallowed. Sir, I hired 7 nannies, he said. And therapists. And teachers. Paid them more than you make in a year. None of them got Emma to walk. He looked straight at her now. His voice was softer, but full of pain. I thought money could fix everything, he confessed. I thought if I paid enough, someone would fix my daughter. When they couldn't, I blamed them. Fired them. Got angrier. He ran a hand over his face. When doctors said autism, I heard broken. I punished everyone, including her. Sophia's eyes filled with tears. She's not broken, she said. Her brain just works differently. She feels the world more than we do. She doesn't need to be fixed. She needs to be safe. He nodded slowly. You saw that. I didn't. He took a breath. I'm not going to fire you, Sophia. I'm going to promote you. She blinked. Promote me. Your main job will be Emma now, he said. You'll talk to her therapists, decide her routines, tell me what she needs. I'll listen. No more barking orders without understanding. She stared at him, shocked. Sir, I'm not a professional. You are the one she chose, he replied. That's something no degree can create. He hesitated. Michael told me about your mother's health. And your brother, John, his school fees. Sophia's face went pale. Sir, I didn't. I'm going to pay for your mother's treatment, he said quietly. And John's schooling. Fully. No strings attached. Tears spilled over. Why? She whispered. After everything. Why? Because I treated you like you were less, he said. Like your life was small. Today, in front of everyone, I saw how wrong I was. You didn't just help my daughter. You saved me from myself. A soft knock broke the moment. The door opened. Emma stood there, in pajamas, holding the wooden horse. She walked in. Step, step, step. Steady. She went straight to Sophia. Fire, she whispered, resting her head on her lap. Sophia hugged her gently, tears of joy in her eyes. Robert knelt beside them. Can I join? He asked quietly. Emma turned, looked at him for a long second, then reached out a tiny hand and placed it on his arm. A small touch, but it felt like forgiveness. Sophia smiled softly. This is what family looks like, she said. Not rich and poor. Not boss and maid. Just people who choose to love. Robert nodded, eyes shining. The mansion outside was still huge and rich. But inside that room, for the first time, it felt truly alive. If you were in Robert's place, and your child trusted a maid, driver, or poor worker more than you, would you feel angry and insulted? Or would you swallow your pride and ask yourself, and tell me honestly, have you ever been treated as less because of your job, clothes, or background, even when your heart was pure? Share your story in the comments. Maybe your words will open someone's eyes today. Broken Heart Sparkles.